Facebook Live, Facebook Live. We have arrived one more time. Let's get ready to get it in, y'all. Let's see. Yeah. Volume should be fine now. It's registering on this end, so let's get ready to get it in. I want to take everybody chiming in. This is Watchman Yahudah Israel, also known as Pastor Dead Man, on an early when I keep a six study and prayer line on this 20th day in January 2020. All these 20. It's the 20th, 2020. Let's get it in, y'all. 1 Timothy 1. Tamika, good to see you on, young lady. Sade, good to see you on. Big Cam in the building. Big Sean in the building. Can y'all hear me? Y'all let me know if you can hear me because it's registering on my end. Big Mark in the house. G-Man in the house. Al Mal. Nicole. Hallelujah. Tell me, can y'all hear me because it's registering on my end for sure. Can y'all hear me? Somebody type yes, please. I want y'all to be able to hear me. A quick yes so I can teach. Will suffice. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Give me a yes, y'all. Yes, yes, y'all. Trenda, good morning. Good to see you on, sis. Trying to get a yes that y'all can hear me. I want y'all to be able to hear. So I need a response. Oh, you can hear me. Hallelujah. That's all I needed. 1 Timothy, y'all. Let's look at what he said. 1 and 7. Look what it says. It says, desiring to be teachers of the law, understanding neither what they say nor whereof they affirm. For we know that the law is good if a man uses it lawfully. Did you know the law is fantastic if you know how to use it? You can't hear me, Sade? Trenda can. You can't. I don't know what to do. Nicole can't. But the funny part about it is it's registering on this end. So you got some people that can hear and some people that can't. That's what it is. But you can also dial 302-202-1102, extension 815648. You can hear me, but it's staticky. Okay. Okay. So it's a bad feed. Wow. That's not good. Let me see. Glover in the building. Good to see you all. Look like it's giving us issues. I know the playback is gonna be good. You say yes, but yeah. Can you dial 302-202-1102, extension 815648? Those of you that cannot hear me, type in the number for me, Trenda, in the feed. 302-202-1102, extension 815648, and type that in for me so those who can't hear, maybe they can chime into that. So I want y'all be able to hear the lesson. Can we do that? Yeah, chime that in. The playback be good. It's just y'all hear me right now because I just tested it a second ago. Let me your volume one more time. Yeah, that's it right there. All I can do and pray. Okay. So I'm gonna teach. Desiring to be teachers of the law, understand neither what they say nor whereof they affirm. But we know that the law is good if a man use it lawfully. The, the law, the law is good, but you got to use it the right way. You got to use it the right way. Knowing this, that the law is not made for a righteous man. But for the lawless and the disobedient, for the ungodly and for sinners, for unholy and profane, for murders of fathers, murders of mothers, for manslayers, for whoremongers, for them that defile themselves with mankind, for men stealers, for liars, for perjured persons, and if there be any other thing contrary to sound doctrine. Anything contrary to sound doctrine. Anything wrong, that's what the law is for. Thank you, Trenda. That's what the law is for. The law is for the lawless. If you have a relationship with the Most High, the law is not for you. I don't have to write you a note telling you, not to commit adultery if you're in love with your spouse. If I wrote a note and said thou should not cheat on thy spouse, and you in love with your spouse, then that note ain't for you. Why would I write you that, and that's the last thing on your mind? You ain't even into that. You're in love with your spouse. The reason why there was no 10 commandments in the garden with Adam is because him and the Most High had a relationship. It was the loss of the relationship that caused the law to have to come on the scene. Lawlessness came on the scene first. Then the law followed. Because the law was a direct response to lawlessness. The law was the response. It wasn't the initial. It was the response to wickedness. To evil. But when you enter into relationship, what commandment is needed? Do you think the Most High got to tell you that you got to love him and don't have no other Elohims? Don't put no other Elohims before him. Do you think he got to say that to someone that has a relationship with him? Do you think the Most High got to tell you not to use his name in vain if you're in love with him? No. The Shabbat. He told you to keep the rest day. What is the definition of Shabbat? Rest. Right? You're not resting from good, because he made it clear that you can do good on the Sabbath. So you're not resting from good. You're resting from evil. Do you think he got to tell someone that's good to rest from evil? No. If you have a relationship with him, if you have his spirit inside of you, then you're going to cooperate with him based on the relationship, based on the spirit of love. What the flesh, that evil nature, didn't have is love. That's what happened. When Adam went against the Most High for his wife, he fell out of love with the Most High. So the spirit of rebellion was birthed inside of humanity moving forward. They had the lack of love for the Most High. So the things that love naturally would do wasn't being done in humanity. Love will cause you to do all kind of stuff. Having a relationship with the Most High will cause you to cooperate. Yeah, love, you will love him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength if you love him. And you won't love him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength if you don't love him. If you love him, that's the ingredient to having a true relationship. Religion is going through the form, going through the rituals, going through carnal rituals. That's what religion is. Carnal rituals. It ain't relationships. It's carnal rituals. Well, he used carnal rituals in Torah, in the Old Testament, to paint the picture of love. Because love was on its way to rescue. And the word was made flesh. Examine the word. The word, if you obey the word, you walk in the spirit of love. The gospel is what love did to rescue you. You receiving it, you receive the spirit of love. And they that are led by the spirit are not under the law. Galatians, the 5th chapter says. When you're led by the spirit of love, the spirit of the Most High, you're not under the law because the law ain't made for you. It ain't even talking to you because you're in a relationship, not religion. Are you with me? Desiring to be teachers of the law, you want to be able to teach the shadow of love. You want to describe to somebody the attributes of love. It's not the actual love, it's the shadow of it. It's not the actual love. Love on stone will just expose the stone. Love, the attribute of love on something that don't have love. Stone don't have no love. So love on stone causes the stone to be condemned, and the stone represented the heart of man. Dead. Only thing we could do is have a form of having a relationship. We didn't have the real thing. We had a form of having a relationship with the Most High. The tabernacle was a description of the Messiah's body coming to earth. It wasn't the Messiah's body. It was a shadow of the Messiah's body. Fringes. Fringes is a reminder to obey the Most High, to obey his commands. The fringe isn't obeying and remembering the commands. It is a symbol. It is a shadow. It is a shadow of having a relationship with the Most High. The Sabbath, resting. Resting from what? Evil. It's not the actual rest from evil. It is a shadow of resting from evil. The new moon, all of the laws, carnal laws, is a shadow. So, designed to be teachers of the law, you got to understand what you're teaching. Because the fulfillment of the law is when the Messiah came, when true love came, when the word became the vehicle to rescue mankind. That was love. For Yah so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. That was love. That he gave his son the body that the world was born in. And that body was willing to go through hell, literally, to rescue us. The word became a human being, became flesh, and dwelt among us. That was love. Leading by example, that was love. To fulfill the shadow of love. See, the true love came on the scene as actual love. In operation, the rescue mission. The law was the shadow of him coming. The feast days was a shadow of him coming. The sacrifice of animals was the shadow of him coming. Well, when love came, he's the end of the law to them that believe. So desiring to be a teacher of the law is a good thing. Desiring to be a teacher of the law, but folks understanding neither what they say nor what they affirm. They're agreeing with a shadow. Get the real thing. The Mashiach is the real thing. Having the Ruach in you, the spirit of the Creator living inside of you, that's the real thing. That's what we need in order to walk in the spirit of love. He tried to break it down by telling you. He said that you got to know that he's one. Ain't number one true source of love, one true source of life. He's one. He's not three. He's not two. All these different gods of the sea, of the air, of fire, none of that. None of that foolishness. He wasn't a man, Buddha. He wasn't none of that. He's one. And you must love him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And then love your neighbor as yourself. Upon these two hang all the law and the prophets. Because the conclusion of all the rituals and all that is love. Had Eve loved the Most High and her husband, she never would have been messing with the snake in the first place. Love prevents that. She forfeited love. Adam chose the love of his wife over the Most High. Terrible decision. Good morning, Barbara. Terrible decision. Designed to be teachers of the law, we got to understand what we're dealing with here. Because like I said, that relationship, true love was in the garden. The Most High didn't have to write laws on tables of stone. That came into fruition after disobedience came on the scene. Because the law was the direct results of lawlessness. The direct result of lawlessness. Designed to be teachers of the law, understand neither what they say nor where they affirm. But we know that the law is good, don't we? We know that the law is good if one uses it lawfully. Because I'm going to tell you right now, the law is not good if you don't use it lawfully. It is not good. It does not work. It will cause one to be religious. Have you ever met somebody religious that don't love nobody but themselves, but they heck are religious? That stinks. A religious adulterer, fornicating, liar, hateful, jealous, two-faced, backstabbing. Remember that song, Smileless Faces? Pretend to be your friend. Smiling faces. Smiling faces show no traces of the evil that lurks within. Religious folk. Folks that's up under the law have the shadow of love, but will cut your throat, will stab you in the back. Come on, it's the truth anyhow. Preacher will sleep with you as opposed to give you eternal life. Sleep with you and you got a husband and he got a wife. Wickedness. Come on, somebody. Designed to be teachers of the law. We need relationships. Because if you mess around and get a relationship, you won't cheat on the Most High. He don't have to tell you not to be running around here cussing. It won't even feel right to you. He won't have to tell you not to be a drunk or a dope fiend. Sleeping with your partner man and all. He don't have to tell you that. Because you have a relationship. The law will tell you don't do that. Don't covet your brother's wife. because it's talking to the lawless. It will just, if we complete and do the 10 commandments, we're in love with the Most High. If you take the law, the words, because ain't nothing wrong with the law itself. The problem is that the law is on stone as opposed in the person that love the Most High, that want the word, that want a relationship with him. Because through relationship, those things come automatically. When it becomes a ritual, that's all it is. When it becomes a dutiful, that's all it is. Without the duty, your faith don't even work. Without the performance, your faith is dead. Your love is dead. Because faith working by love. Your faith is dead if it don't operate by love. But you can't exclude the performance. You can't exclude the obedience. See, folks like to believe that they saved without performance. Without the obligation of performance in and of itself according to the law, which is a form of having love, working out the duties of the law isn't a lie. But performing the duties of the law through faith, through having a relationship, is an automatic. When it's the law, it's not written in your heart. It's 100% performance. But when you have a relationship, the performance is there times 10, times 100. The performance is still there. You go perform through faith. When the law is written on the tables of your heart, that is love in operation. And not only will you love the Most High with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength, you'll love your neighbor as yourself because you're led by the spirit of love. You don't need a shadow. You don't need an example. You don't need the schoolmaster as far as having a relationship with the Most High. You look from a relationship standpoint back at the law, as opposed to looking at the relationship through the law. I hope y'all understood that. You're reading a script. You're in a marriage and you're reading a script, and you're performing the script. When you mess around and fall in love, you can write the script. You mess around and fall in love and have a true relationship, you'll be able to read the script and say, yeah, that's exactly what love does. Because that's exactly what you'll be doing. But it's not the other way around. Come on, somebody. Designed to be teachers of the law, understand neither what they say nor whether they affirm. But we know that the law is good if one uses it lawfully. The law is great. It will point out what a relationship should look like. It's not the relationship. It is the shadow of the relationship. Again, that's why Adam didn't have it. Okay, well, let's go to Abraham, a better example. Abraham did not have the 10 commandments, yet he walked in harmony with the Most High. He had a relationship with him. So now that you know that the law is not made for a righteous man, the Most High did not make the commandments for Abraham because he was a righteous man. He was in right standing with the Most High based on relationship. They were in a relationship. Yeah. When you're in a relationship, you're not going to put no Elohim before him. You're not going to use his name in vain. He don't have to tell you to rest from evil. Because again, you can do good on the Sabbath. Yeah. he was telling you to rest from wickedness. As a shadow and type, he would tell you to rest from work. And that carnal work he was telling you to rest from was a shadow of the spiritual work that you should rest from. And the spiritual work you should rest from is sin, disobedience. Well, when the fulfillment of all the rituals, all the shadows and types came on the scene, the fulfillment of love, now you don't need the schoolmaster. You're not under the schoolmaster. You see a shadow coming. Then you know that somebody is coming. All those things were shadow. But when they get here, you're not tripping off the shadow no more. You can look at the shadow and say they on their way. But when they get there, you're looking at the real thing. The real person arrived. Well, that was the Messiah. See, he's the end of the law as far as it being written on the tables of stone. Let me show y'all something. Go to 2 Corinthians, the 3rd chapter. I'm going to let y'all go. I'm not going to keep y'all. I know some of y'all got to work and all that old fun stuff, but look at this. I'm going to read it in another verse. 2 Corinthians 3, just to make it plain for you, okay? 2 Corinthians 3, look what it says. Are we beginning, NIV is what I'm reading in, y'all. Are we beginning to commend ourselves again? Or do we need, like some people, letters of recommendation to you or from you? You yourselves are a letter written on our hearts, known and read by everyone. You show that you are a letter from the Messiah, the result of our ministry, written not with ink, but with the Spirit of the living Elohim, not on tables of stone, but on the tables of human hearts. You heard that. It's not written on stone. It was on stone. But now we have it written in our heart. We've entered into a relationship with the Creator. You don't have to tell me not to forsake the assembling of ourselves together as the manner of some is. I'm going simple. You don't have to tell me to forgive. I know I got to forgive. You don't have to tell me to give. Not to muzzle the mouth of the ox that turned out the corn. See, you can follow my receipts to see what I like. When I like getting drunk, bar hopping, club hopping, crack, dope head. Come on. You follow my receipts to dope. Never bought a woman in my life ever. But I bought a bunch of stuff. You can tell when you in love with the Most High, your receipts will follow. Your footprints will follow. Your social media will follow. Everything you got will aim towards the Most High. Come on, somebody. See, the word written on stone ain't gonna help nobody. It needs to be written in you. That's what relationship is. Folks going out buying Hallmarks. How you feel? You didn't write that. You got a Hallmark. What are you saying to me? We so plastic. We going out to get a Hallmark. Come on, somebody. That's a shadow of love, a Hallmark. Show me. No, don't get to smiling at me on my birthday and you ain't paid no attention to me all year long. That's not love. That's a shadow. That's fake. Back to the word, y'all. Again, 3rd verse. And you show that you are a letter of the Mashiach, the results of our ministry, written not with ink, but in the Spirit of the living Elohim, not on the tables of stone, but on the tables of the human heart. Such confidence we have through the Messiah before Yah. Not that we are complete in ourselves to claim anything of ourselves, but our completeness, our competence comes from Yah. He has made us competent as ministers of the New Testament. The conclusion of the matter, competent ministers of the New Testament, not of the letter, not of Torah, but of the Spirit, because Torah represented the giving of a schoolmaster, the shadow of a true relationship. Tabernacles, that wasn't the body of the Messiah, that was a shadow of the body. The real body is when the word will be born in flesh. Even Solomon, David wanted to build a house. Solomon ended up building. What house did Solomon build? The one made of cedar wood, a physical house. But that wasn't, according to prophecy, the house that will be built, because the Most High don't live in houses made by man's hands. The house that he lived in the rescue mission was the body, the tabernacle that John saw coming, the Lamb, and the Word was made flesh. That was the house. The Messiah was that house. The tabernacle wasn't the house, nor was the house that Solomon built the house. Those were shadows of the real house coming, a human being, to rescue humanity from their wickedness, which was the Mashiach. So not of the letter, the Old Testament, the Torah, but of the Spirit. Because look, the Torah killeth, but the Spirit gives life. Talking about, what do you mean the Torah killeth? The Most High Spirit, His word on stone, kills everybody. Because the stone represented us, humanity. Everybody dead. Everybody wrong. Everybody in sin. We was all born in sin and shaped in iniquity. And the Ten Commandments came and proved it. We were still dying after the similitude of Adam's sin. Everybody was dying. Death is on the scene because of the sin of Abraham, choosing his wife over the Most High. Everybody is dying. But the proof came on the scene when the Ten Commandments came. Everybody was dying. Everybody was acting a fool. Yeah. Everybody was acting a fool. Everyone is including Israel. They was acting a fool. That's why he had to rescue them, being the chosen people. He had to rescue them because the results of sin was in their life. That's why the Egyptians turned on them, because that is the attributes or the consequence of sin. So the situation turned, just like in our lives, things turn on us. We lose our jobs, we lose our money, we lose our relationship, we lose our families. And it's predicated on the motions of sin, where the situation turned on them in Egypt because of sin. The Most High had to rescue them, keeping his promise to Abraham because of his faith. So he went and rescued them, took them in the wilderness, and said, check this out, y'all. Take these commandments because you're lawless, because you're disobedient, because you don't have the faith of your father Abraham. When he gave them the law, all of them was guilty, and they knew that why they was dying. Because the letter kills, it's the Spirit that gives life. Are you with me? 7th verse. Now, if the ministry that brought death, which was engraved in letters on stone, see, that's talking about the Ten Commandments, it's death. Folks want to go back and be under the law. You want to be up under a shadow that killed you, that proved that you ain't right, that proved that you is Yahless, that proved that you don't have Elohim? That's what you want? Have at it. I don't want nothing to do with it. The law is good if you use it right, if you know how to use it. Now, if the ministry that brought death, talking about the Ten Commandments, that's the ministry that brought death, which was engraved in letters on stone, that proved it was talking about the Ten Commandments, came with glory, so that the Israelites could not look steadfastly at the face of Moses because of his glory, trans story, whatever that is, though it was, will not the ministry of the Spirit be even more glorious? Okay, I got to get away from this translation. Let me go back to KJV. Look. But if the administration of death, talking about the Ten Commandments, written and engraved in stone was glorious, so that the children of Israel could not steadfastly behold the face of Moses for the glory of his countenance, which glory which to be done away. The glory of the Ten Commandments given was temporary. It was going to be done away. How shall not the ministration of the Spirit be rather more glorious? The administration of having a relationship, having the Spirit living inside of you is way better. It ain't even no comparison of having a true love affair, a true relationship with the Most High, as opposed to having a relationship with Him based on commandments on stone, which represented the stony heart of man, your stony heart, humanity's stony heart. Ninth verse. For the administration of condemnation, it's called it a condemnation. Folks want to be under the law, though. The administration of condemnation be glorious. Much more doth the administration of righteousness exceed in glory. Having a relationship, walking in the Spirit, having a relationship with Him exceeds in righteousness and in glory by far. It ain't even close, y'all. 10th verse. For even that which was made glorious had no glory in this retrospect. He said even the Ten Commandments don't have a glory based on this retrospect by reason of the glory that excelleth. In other words, do a comparison analysis. Those that are under the law and those that walk in the Spirit, there's no comparison. A person with tables, with commandments written on stone, or someone that has a relationship with the Most High and the word is written in their heart. They're in love with Him. They love Him with all. They know that He's one. They ain't looking for another Elohim. They know that He's one, right? And they love Him with all their heart, mind, soul, and spirit. They love their neighbor as themselves. Upon them two hang all the law and the prophets. Hear what the prophets talking about, or what the law say. You're in relationship with the lawgiver. 11th verse, and I'm gonna stop. For if that which is done away was glory, it said it's gone, y'all. Folks trying to hold on to the law. For if that which is done away was glorious, much more that which remaineth is glorious. Okay, I'll read this a little bit more. Tiny bit. I just want to read this part. Seeing then that we have such hope, we use great plainness of speech, and folks still don't get it. These law folks, they don't using great plainness of speech. Not as Moses, which put a veil over his face, that the children of Israel could not steadfastly look at the end of that which is abolished. It's gone. But their minds were blinded, for until this day remains the same veil untaken away in the reading of the Old Testament, which veil is done away in the Messiah. Same thing. Folks are still gathering law-minded, blowing horns and getting wearing all these wardrobes and all. It's just crazy. When the Most High is telling you to walk in the spirit of love. What are you doing wasting all that time and money? And what are you doing? But their minds were blinded. The God of this world is blinding the minds of them that believe not. But their minds were blinded. For unto this day remains the same veil, untaken away in the reading of the Tanakh, the Old Testament. You ain't nothing wrong with reading the Old Testament, and you should. You should learn it. Learn the history. Learn what love looked like. And then graduate to the Messiah so you can get it. You can learn about what love looked like in the Old Testament through shadows and types. And then turn around and get it through the Messiah. Because that stuff is done away in the Messiah. Did y'all get this? I hope y'all did. We had a bad connection or whatever, but I hope y'all got this. Designed to be teachers of the law. You desire to teach the law? Well, here it is. Because a whole lot of folks understand not what they say, nor what they holler. Amen. Amen Ra. Amen. I agree. But we know that the law is good if you use it lawfully, because the law wasn't made for a righteous man. But for the lawless and the disobedient, for the ungodly. And that ain't us, right? Hallelujah. that was a lesson for this morning. I'm not going to keep you. I'm not going to keep you. Renee, I just finished teaching, man. You missed it, man. And you and I need to catch up, man. Inbox me your number, man. But great hanging out with y'all. We pray that you was blessed by the word and that you got something out of it. If you have problems hearing the lesson through the Facebook thing, play it back because it plays back perfectly. First 5 minutes, I'm trying to figure it out, but we get into the lesson. A lot of good food in here, y'all. If you believe there was good food in there and you was blessed, push the share button so somebody else can be blessed as well. I want to thank everybody that support this ministry. May the Most High continue to bless you. If you'd like to become a supporter of this ministry, you got the Cash App. All you got to do is put in $ Yahudah Israel. That's YAHUDAHYISRAEL. Again, YAHUDAHYISRAEL. And you can support the ministry like that. I'm humble for those that do. If you also go to my Facebook, Yahudah Israel, and support the ministry through Messenger. Y'all want to talk about the word? We got some time this morning. All you got to do is dial 302-202-1102, extension 815648. Again, 302-202-1102, extension 815648. I hope y'all, again, was moved by the lesson. Y'all be moved and Baruch Shalom. I'm